everybody, happy Monday and welcome to this episode of Q&A with the Hombre. Oh, excuse me. Hope you guys had a great Easter weekend, and I'm glad that you're able to join me here today for some more interesting discussions and questions and answers for you. What are you guys drinking here today? I am drinking another sample of the single barrel Reposado from El Tesoro, which we do have a group buy on. Didn't pick this one, but it is still tasty, so I'm enjoying it a little bit here while I chat with you guys today. So let me know what you're sipping on, what tasty agave spirit, whether it's tequila or soto or a mezcal that you're sipping on. Love to hear about that. Sorry we missed the Ray Saul episode last week. I had some things come up I had to take care of and deal with, and I just didn't have the time to do that. But I promise you that we'll do it this week. So it will be our Wednesday happy hour with the Hombre. We will do it on Ray Saul, everything Ray Saul. So we'll give you some really great information about that. And then we'll talk about some of the differences in the different kinds that they have. And then I'll do a tasting between the regular Ray Saul, the 10-year aged Ray Saul from the first barrel that we did, and the 10-year Ray Saul that we did, that we're doing on the second barrel, that we're taking pre-orders on now on Ferment and Still. We sold a ton of it on the pre-sale so far. It's disappearing. So if you were interested in getting in on that, make sure you visit the Ferment and Still website. And if you click on the TBAC buys link, you'll see it there. We just opened it up to the general public. It was only available to the people that were on the list before. So if you take your time, then you're missing out. All right, Todd's sipping on the Fortaleza Añejo. That's a good Añejo. Very good Valle tequila. JD sends is signs is got his Peralta Repo, which is really good. Felipe says it's the most complex reposado he's ever had. So, hey, we got a Lalo drinker here in Cliff. Very good. Love the Lalo Blanco. One of my favorites. Drinking also a Blanco. It's so good. I know it is so good, isn't it? It is. And it just disappears so fast when you start drinking it, which is one thing that is the downfall for me. It's you open the bottle and next thing you know, half of it's gone. And you're like, where did it go? I love that Blanco though. And, well, I am working with Lalo on doing the high proof. So it's just a matter of time on when it's going to be ready. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. All right. So that's pretty much all the introductions that I have. We do have the El Tesoro barrel coming soon. And what's this? Tony Perez says, what do you say? He says, yo, hombre, I've been binge watching your video, bro. I'm drinking Siete Leguas Blanco. Quick question. When they cook the agave, the great tequilas, do they and like cinnamon or other natural flavors? Or do they add? No, they don't add any flavors at all. The cinnamon and the baking spices and stuff, that's what cooked agave tastes like. And if you ever get a chance to visit a distillery and you go and if they're cooking and they're making tequila, when you go, a lot of times they'll hand you a big chunk of cooked agave after it's cooled down out of the oven, and they'll say here, and they instruct you on how to eat it right. You don't want to pop it in your mouth and chomp it and swallow it. You eat it like sugar cane. If you've ever had cooked sugar cane before, where you put it in your mouth and you scratch your teeth against it and pull, and you extract all this sugary sweet juice out of the agave fibers, and it tastes like cinnamon, baking spices, molasses, super sweet candy like stuff. It is so good. And it's really good. I got addicted to it. It's like every distillery I went to, it's like, oh, are you cooking? Yeah, here, they give you a big chunk of it and you're like, it's so good. It is so good. It's like plant candy if you've ever had it. So that's the natural flavors from the agave that you're tasting: the cinnamon, the baking spices, molassesy sweetness type of taste that you're getting. That is what cooked agave tastes like. So when you hear in a video it says, oh, it tastes like cooked agave, it has lots of cooked agave in it, that's what I'm describing, is that sweet cinnamon, baking spices, really nice flavoring and stuff. Mark Trinidad, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. What's up, Cowboys? Yes. Can't wait for Cowboy season, for football season to come again. Gotta love the Cowboys. So appreciate the super chat, Mark. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, the Lalo Blanco. Yeah, I know it is so good. And people are like, oh yeah, you think it can compete with something like, El Tesoro? Or and it's like, oh well, yeah, it's my favorite 40 Blanco, and I can't wait to taste the high proof because I know it's going to be like amazing, and it's probably going to blow my mind, and I'm hoping I'm not disappointed, which I'm sure I won't be with the way Lalo does things. So it's going to be good. So I'm looking forward to that. But don't email me saying, hey, when's the high proof Lalo coming? Because it's not going to be for a while, you guys. We're just in the planning process. I need to tell them how big of a batch I think we're going to need, because we're going to take all of it and push it, and it's not going to be cheap. Now let's talk about pricing, because people, there's all kinds of talk all the time about pricing, and people think, okay, look, if for some reason a Blanco is $40, then a Repo should be 50 something dollars, and an Añejo should be maybe 60 something dollars. There's no set like thing saying, well, if the Blanco's this much, then the Repo's got to be this much, and the Añejo's got to be this much. There's different things that affect pricing. Okay. So when you look at a Blanco and you say, okay, well, that Blanco is, let's say it's $34.99 for the Blanco, right? And the Repo is more. Well, you have to ask why. Why is the Repo cost more? Okay, because they price based on availability, based on how much they have, based on how long it's aged. They price it based on a bunch of different factors. So you can see a line where, for example, the Cascaween that came out, it's you can get the Blanco for cheap because there's lots of Blanco. He creates batches of Blanco and he was importing the Blanco. You can get it cheap. Okay, but when the Repo and the Añejo just came in last week, it's more expensive. And it's only because they only do like 3 or 4 barrels of the Reposado, and that's it. They don't do a lot. And then they weren't importing it here before. And like, just to give you an idea how much came in, and people, we've been selling the Repo and the Añejo like crazy on Ferment and Still. And it's because literally in the state of California, we only got 10 cases of each. 10 cases of Repo, 10 cases of Añejo, and that's it. So it's not widely available. They didn't bring a whole lot in. And so when you're looking at, okay, well, they have to truck it, from Mexico up here, and then they have to pay the taxes on it, and they have to then ship it up to the distributor or to the holding center that then sends it to the distributors. They got to pay for all this. And when you don't have a lot, like a big pallet with a bunch of cases, you can't spread the cost over so many different things. So the prices may be a little more expensive. So don't make assumptions on pricing, and don't think that, okay, well, the Blanco is only this much. Why is the Repo or Añejo this much? Just take it for what it is. Find out why. If you have a question, ask somebody that knows and find out why the pricing is different, and that would answer your question. So, different brands at different pricings. Lalo's not cheap for a Blanco, for a 40% Blanco. It's like $50, 50 something dollars if you order it online. It's not cheap, but it's worth it because it's good quality. He does smaller batches, so he's not pushing in, a huge bunch of pallets of it that he can spread the cost over. He's just doing small batches because he's not selling a whole lot of it right now, and that's what we're helping with, him selling more of it. All right, so Cliff says, on my way to Easter gathering yesterday, I discovered liquor stores were closed. Had to go to Walmart, and the best they had was... I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I agree with Mike. Hopefully you just drank soda or something. Hey, Tequila Hombre, I had Legato Repo this past weekend from San Matias. I had to say it tasted bad. It almost tasted like it diffused, which I overheard it might be. Any thoughts? I don't think it's diffused. I just think it's a low quality. It's meant to be a mixer. It's not meant to be a sipper. And they'll tell you that straight off the bat. The Legato is meant to be a cheap mixer. It's meant to put in margaritas and stuff. It's not meant to sip. It's the other ones that are meant to sip. They don't use any diffused stuff at Casa San Matias. It's just a lower quality tequila that they produce at a lower cost because it's for like well tequila at restaurants and bars to use as a mixer in cocktails. That's why. Legato is not meant to be a sipper. I was looking for El Tesoro, which they usually have, and they were out. I'll use the rest of the bottle from Mark. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully you didn't have to drink any of that for Easter. Hopefully you just had Diet Coke or something, maybe, or soda. Hey, Abel, how are you doing? Yeah, you're drinking Lalo too. It's a Lalo party. If he saw this, if he was here, he would totally be thrilled. And I don't blame him. He makes a good product. He should be proud of it, right? Have you ever had Malinali tequila? No, I haven't. I have not had that one. There's like hundreds of thousands of tequilas out there, and there's only a small amount that I've had compared to what's available. And a lot of them I won't touch because they come from distilleries that's like, oh, they make, everything that they make is garbage, or they make 150 different brands. And if that's the case, then you know they're not making different recipes for each of them. I poured Don Julio 1940 down the drain because of fabulous. Well, that's good. I know it's expensive tequila, and I'm sorry you poured it down the drain, and I'm sorry I ruined it for you. But yeah, there's so many other good tequilas out there that it's not worth spending the money on that for anymore. All right, so Emmanuel, how are you doing, buddy? Hey, Hombre, one question I had is, despite having the right processes, why doesn't Patron taste as good as it should? Well, it's because they carbon filter it at the end. They, when they first started making tequila, they were afraid that if it had a robust flavor profile, that it was going to be too strong for American palates, So they made it bland for American palates, and then still marketed it as a luxury tequila. So they carbon filter it, and when you carbon filter anything, it takes flavoring out. So you lose some of the flavoring because of it, and that's why it's on the bland side. The side, I think they don't carbon filter the Roca Patron, so I think that's one of the better lines out of Patron. I like the Roca. That's the one that I'll do some reviews. I have the Rocas, so I'll do reviews, and I'll go over that when I review them. FedEx just delivered my Lalo. Time to pour. There you go. Get on it. Get on it, Bunny. Bunny, is that Bunny Run? Bunny and 76. I need to make my screen bigger because I can't. Here we go. All right, let's see. Cliff's, I had the Younglings beer. Oh, there you go. Good quality beer. I think that's out of Philadelphia, I think, right? Younglings. What is Raicilla Hombre? Well, Raicilla, it's actually Raicilla. Raicilla is it's moonshine. It's like Mexican moonshine. It just it has its own DO now, but it's like a mezcal that's made in Jalisco. So but since Jalisco's not in the DO for mezcal, they can't produce mezcal, so they make Raicilla. It's good. There's different kinds that you can have made from different agaves, and I recommend trying it and see what you think. Some of it can get really, because of some of the agave they use, can get really funky, weird taste to it. So be surprised to have your palate kind of blown away, depending on what kind of agave that they're using. Can you explain the relationship between Cascawin and Seleccion 1123 Blancos? Yeah, well, Cascawin made it. 1123 is the NOM for Cascawin. So they actually made that Blanco. The way Artenom Selección works is they go to all the top master distillers. So they went to Felipe, went to 1579. They went to Enrique Fonseca for the 1146. They went to Sergio Cruz at 1414. And they went to Salvador Trejo over at Cascoin 1123. And they asked him to make an expression they'd be proud of and do it the way they want to do it, blah, blah, blah. And so each of them makes like a different expression for the brand. So the Artenom Selección 1123 is made by Salvador Trejo at Cascoin. That's why they use the 1123, because that is their NOM number. Hope that explains it for you. Just ordered the Lalo tequila on Saturday. I'm excited to try. Oh, Carlos, it is so good. It is so good. My favorite. One of my favorites. It's my favorite 40% Blanco. Yes, you're welcome, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. I said that right. Emmanuel. Okay. All right. JP says, thoughts on Tao. It's now my number one. No bold statements, but standing by it. I haven't had Tao yet. I don't think it's imported into the US yet. And I haven't been to Mexico where I could pick up a bottle. So I haven't tried Tao, but that is also at a 1414. It's Sergio Cruz. And so far I've liked everything that he makes. So I feel like Lalo is great, especially for someone who likes the taste of beer. I don't understand why Lalo Blanco would have anything to do with beer, but it is great. It's just really easy to drink. And it's just pure agave beautifulness in there. Not a whole lot of like added stuff from the fermentation and stuff. It's just pure liquid agave, and it's just so clean and crisp and easy to drink. That's what I think of it. So I'm a tequila novice, but my go-to is Patron Añejo. I too sheltered from the rest of the tequila world. Yeah, you need to explore some more. Yeah, so go out and try some other brands. Watch my videos and try some of the ones from my videos, and explore more. It's an interesting and fun journey, and you'll learn a lot, and you'll try and experience different things. And it's all about, with tequila, it's all about the experience. Too many people think it's all about doing shots and with lime and salt and stuff. It's not. It's about the taste experience when you find the good stuff. So make sure you watch some of the videos here on the channel, on the Tequila Hombre channel. Learn about some of the different brands. Pick some of them up that sound interesting to you. Try them. And then come back and let us know what you think. We love it when people share, right, guys? Everybody here shares on what they think of different things, and we totally embrace it and love it. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the stuff that you try that you didn't know about or learned about here on the Tequila Hombre channel. Raicilla is made from agave angustifolia, which is this, well, not all of it. Raicilla can be made from a bunch of different things. Mexicano, it's made from all kinds of different things. There's all different kinds of Raicilla. But angustifolia is espadín. But you might find some that use espadín, but there's a lot that use different types of agave, not just espadín. I have a couple of Raicillas up here that one's a Mexicano, and what's the other one? I don't remember what the other one is off the top of my head, but the Mexicano one is interesting. If you ever had Mexicano agave, it's really kind of musty and funky and like a funky musty cheese type of taste to it. Smells like a locker room. A sweaty locker room. Yeah, so let's see here. What is your favorite from the Cascoin line? I don't know if I have a favorite. I like a lot of them. I like the Tono Blanco. Oh, excuse me. I like the Tohono Blanco's good. I like the Plata. I like the Anniversary Blanco. I like the Extra Añejo is fantastic. every time before it was imported into the US, every time I went to Mexico, I was one of the bottles I always grabbed, because you could only buy it in Mexico before, was the extra añejo. And I've had the añejo and reposado when I was in Mexico as well. That's also very good. So everything that Sal does out of there is good. As far as the Cascoine line, he's got some other lines that he does that, like that Supremo, which I'm not a big fan of because they use additives. I don't think he's a big fan of it either, because I don't think he likes using the additives, but it's what the client wants, so he gives what the client wants, type of thing. Is there a list of which company? Yeah, if you go on Tequila Matchmaker, you can see what NOMs are assigned to what distilleries. It'll tell you. Just use tequilamatchmaker.com. You're welcome, Mike. Thank you. All right, so Mark, Tequila Hombre has greatly expanded my knowledge of tequilas. When I started, I went through nearly all the video. There you go. Well, hopefully you still keep going through them. I've got more reviews that I'm going to be cranking out for you guys too. So I know I've been kind of falling behind on my reviews because I've been working on the Ferment and Still online store, which people are raving about, which I love, and people are shopping there and buying all kinds of great stuff and getting their shipments, and everything's legitimate and good, and we're adding new stuff every day. Matter of fact, I just added today, for those of you that like mezcals and destillados, I just added today 2 expressions from a nice destilado. It's called Agua del Sol, and this one is Tabasiche, and this one is a Mexicano agave, and they are delish. So we added them to the site. They're really good. I'll do reviews on them, but they're really good. Really good quality, easy sipping. Good stuff. Good stuff. I can't complain. I love it. And then we also added a brand new Neta Destilado, which is only available in California. So we're like one of the only sites now that you can actually purchase it if you're outside of California. If you're a big Neta fan, you can get some from Ferment and Still, which is cool. Hey, hombre, the force is strong. You know, thank you, Todd. The force is strong. I wish I had a Yoda voice on here, but I don't. That was a Star Wars reference. Star Wars. We love Star Wars. There, the Tequila Police love Star Wars. That's all I can give you. Is I wish I had like a. I'm your father. How was that? I took your advice on the Reserva de Gonzalez Extra Añejo. My goodness, excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Bubble Tea. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I would never steer you wrong. That's a good tequila, and I recommend anybody that goes to Mexico that's looking for something that you can't get in the States. That's definitely a must-have. The whole line of Reserva de Gonzalez is good stuff. You can't go wrong with it. All right, what do you say, hombre? How else can I get a hold of you? Like if we want to send you bottles and gifts? Well, you don't need to send me bottles and gifts. Really, you don't need to. But if you need to get in touch with me, my email address is in the description for my videos, so you can see it there. So if you have a question and you want to email me, also I'm on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, you can join my group Tequila Talk. I'm in there all the time. So a lot of these people I see here are join the group, and we talk all the time. They see me and I post stuff in there all the time, and people PM me all the time. I'm always available to answer questions and to help you guys when you need it. So don't be afraid to send me a note or whatever. But you don't need to send me gifts and bottles. That's not necessary unless you have a brand you want me to review it and look to maybe put it on Ferment and Still. If it's good quality, then that's definitely something I will help you with. But you don't need to send me gifts. That's perfectly okay. All right, so that's the last question so far. So should I just ramble on for a little bit until somebody else says something? This El Tesoro is really good. So the Ray Sol, I've got some great information for the Ray Sol episode on on Wednesday. It's going to be really good. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be really good. I'll give you some really good information. And then we're going to pull out some of the bottles I have of Raysol and just do live tastings, guys. I've got a sample bottle from the one that's currently en route here for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective buy that I'm doing with it. It's their second barrel. I handpicked these barrels myself. Both of them are completely different. So when I taste them side by side, you'll hear the difference. And it's, you know, same thing, 10 years in a French oak barrel, but it'll give you an idea of how a single barrels really can be so different when you're purchasing single barrels and they're not blends. See, a lot of the other aged expressions, like you get in Añejo from Fortaleza, they'll pull 4 or 5 barrels out of the Añejo and then they mix them together and blend them into that batch. Where when you purchase a single barrel, it's got its own authentic taste and its own personality to it that is it. And so when you're done with that barrel, when you're done with all the bottles that came out of the barrel, it's gone forever. You can never reproduce it exactly because each barrel is, you know, a former or currently living thing that produces a different flavor profile from it based on how it's made and stuff. All right, Cliff says a little more about Terramana. The bottle says small batch, 100% Puro de Agave, brick oven, copper pot still. So misleading. Well, yeah, you know, they can put whatever they want on the bottle. It doesn't mean that it has to be true. It also says it's gluten-free, which, okay, come on. All tequila is gluten-free unless they're mixing wheat in with it. But even still, the gluten's left behind in the still. All tequila is gluten-free, so don't worry about that. I just finished my El Tesoro Blanco. It's my new everyday go-to. Loving it. Thank you you're so welcome, Mark. Glad you're enjoying El Tesoro. It is a good brand. And we have the single barrel Reposado coming in next week or maybe the week after that. We're going to be putting it up for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective buy up on Ferment and Still. So hopefully it lands here soon. And it is going to be phenomenal. You'll love it. If you're a Reposado lover, this is a must buy. When I did the tasting on it, it was so good and such a big difference from the other barrels they sent me. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Anthony C says, cheers, Mark. I've been drinking. Well, salute, Anthony. So have I. All right. When can we see Raysol shipping? Just ordered mine yesterday. It's on its way from Kentucky, so it's probably going to be another couple weeks before it gets here. So as soon as I hear it lands and they're shipping, I'll let you know. It should be pretty quickly. It should be just be a couple weeks, so it shouldn't be too bad. But you're good. You should be glad that you got in on it and got your bottle because it is disappearing quickly. We're down to not a whole lot left. So if those that want it, get in and get it before it's gone, because people that are waiting are going to end up being like, well, I wanted a bottle. And I'm like, well, I gave you this. I sent out the pre-buy link and you didn't buy it. You were waiting, and that's sorry. Everyone else bought it, you know. There's no guarantees. Now, that's one thing out too with the collective. You know, when you email me and say you're interested in something, I'm not reserving bottles for people, because before I did that, and then people were like, oh, something came up and I can't. So now I don't reserve bottles. I just say, okay, you want a bottle? Let me know. And then I get an idea of how much we need to order, how many barrels we need to do. And then that's it. Once I put it up, it's go. It's, you know, get what you want quickly. And then, like I said in the message that I sent out on this, on the pre-buy on this, was that I'm giving the guys on the list that said that they wanted it and stuff up first, the first shot to getting it. So you guys are guaranteed to get it if you bought it. And then after 3 days, I'm opening it up, which I did today. So we're selling more and more and more. So if you guys, the Raysol 10-year, this is handpicked by me, and it has a medallion on it that says it's a Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective pick. So, you know, it's handpicked by me. It's got a nice metal medallion around it. 10-year aged. It is fantastic. It is beautiful. One of my favorite extra neos, period. It's great. I've been drinking. Hey, no problem. I've been drinking the Expression de Corazon, and I've been getting a headache from on pour. Is it diffused? No, it's not diffused. It's not diffused. No. Just because you get a headache doesn't mean it's diffused. It just means there could be more methanol in it than there should be. And sometimes they do that to keep it cheap. They'll cut more into the tails. So, or it could just mean too that you're vitamin deficient. You drank too much. Because if you don't drink water while you're drinking it, you will get dehydrated, because ethanol itself is a diuretic. It'll make you, pee out all your liquids and stuff. So it's important to drink water with it. There's no guarantee that just because you drink well-made tequila that you're not going to have a hangover. But if you're more likely to get a really bad hangover from the stuff with additives and diffused versus the really well-made stuff. But it all depends on your personal health as to whether you're going to get a little bit of a headache or not. For me, I don't really get a headache, but I drink a lot of water. All day long, I'm drinking water. I'm hydrated. And I can drink a half a bottle of something well-made and not get a hangover because of that. And I take vitamins in the morning, and I make sure I'm not deficient in anything. Hey, Mark, my Lala order should be on its way. Great. Bernie, thank you so much for showing up today, bud. Always happy to see you. I'm glad your Lala order is on its way. That's awesome. Lalo is so good. I love Lalo. Money talks, reserving bottles walks. That's right. That's right. You put your money down. It's yours. You don't. I don't take people's word for it, because so many people are like, oh, my dog needed a tonsillectomy, so I can't use that. I don't have the money now to spend on the Raysol, or, I needed a waxing to remove the excess hair off my back, so I can't pay for the Raysol anymore, which none of that is my concern. I don't care. If you just want to say, hey, look, I'm not gonna be able to purchase it, that's fine. I'll offer it to someone else. But that's the reason why I don't reserve bottles, is because I don't want to be sitting there holding bottles going, well, these people said they were going to buy them, and now they don't. Instead, I open it up, and everybody that wants it can get it, and those that didn't act fast enough, lo siento, amigo. I'm sorry. Is Camarena tequila associated with Felipe or no? It's not. It came originally from the other side. It's from Don Felipe Camarena's brother's distillery and his family. So they're cousins of Felipe and Carlos. But and they sold it off, and now it's just junk, diffused garbage. So it doesn't come from them, and it's not good tequila, and not something that either family is proud of anymore. So it's garbage. Don't think it's gonna be good because it has the Camarena name on it. All right, so people showing up at my house for dinner, gotta go. Okay, we'll have a good dinner. Hopefully they're people you like. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit, Cliff. Appreciate it. Oh, all right, so have some more El Tesoro. So what was I talking about before? Oh yeah. So I have lots of great information on the Raysol, so make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be fun. I'll give you some history about the bottle, how it's made, all that stuff. It's going to be good. And then we'll answer questions about it, and then as you know, it is up on Ferment and Still for the special buy that we're doing, where you guys can grab it if you want it. All right, so I'm going to pour some more tequila for me, and we'll see if you guys have any more questions or comments that you want to say. Now, you guys, I just want to let you know, too, Mark Trinidad, the guy that came in, popped up in here. What was that? Yeah, that's him. His wife runs a Jersey company. I believe that's him. That's you, right? Right, Mark? I don't remember if there was Mark Metro before, or you have different accounts or what. All right, we get more questions that came up here. All right, let's see what we got. Have you tried Siempre Tequila? No, I'm 1430. Yes, I have. It's the Blanco's good, but the Añejo and Reposado are all additives in it, and they even told me they put aguamil in it. They add to sweeten it up. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather just have it be unadulterated. Have you ever tried Cava Cava? I drink it along with tequila. No, I haven't tried Cava Cava. Any future reviews? Yes, I do. I'm going to be doing a review of the Artenom Selección 1123. I'm going to be doing a review of the Fuente Seca Cosecha 2018. That one's coming up. I'm going to be doing some reviews of Pura Sangre, as well as the Grande Vejo, some Grande Vejo line. And then I've got a bunch of stuff. So I've been kind of putting my calendar together. So you guys are going to see a lot more reviews from me now as I get these things pushed out. So there'll be a lot more interesting reviews, a lot more great stuff. I've got some brands that are sending me tequilas as well, which I'll be doing, adding their reviews in the mix as well, and telling you about some new brands that are coming out, that are out there that could be promising, but we'll see once we do the tasting. So yeah, we got lots of stuff coming up. So yes. Okay. It is Mark Trinidad. Okay, great. Yeah. So, his wife owns a jersey company where they make custom, like Cowboys jerseys and stuff like that. And, they're going to make a Tequila Hombre jersey for me. So I'm really excited about that. So if you guys have a club, or if you're a big football fan and you want your own custom jersey, or you want a jersey, for your wife, like with, bedazzled, or that looks, more feminine for her, if that's something that she wants. Or maybe if you want something more feminine, I mean, who are we to say anything against that? We're open to people that like all different kinds of things. Hit them up, send them a message, and see what you can do for your club or whatever. I can't wait to show you guys the jersey when it's done. But they do all sports teams. So they'll do football, they do baseball. Like he showed me some pictures of some really cool Dodger stuff that they do. So if you like baseball, football, hockey, you name it, they'll do it for you. And they do some really cool stuff. So if you hit them up, they can show you some examples of what they do. Yeah, men love bling. There you go. He says men love. So if you want to have some bling, some bedazzlement on your jerseys and stuff, or some neat designs or custom logos. If you have a club like a car club that likes football, or a car club that you want to do a jersey for, or something like that, they do the jerseys. And so I can't wait to show you guys the Tequila Hombre jersey that we're going to do. I don't know Mark, what's the name of your company? Comment with the name of your company. Someone's just asking right now. But they're located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But they'll ship everywhere. He'll comment here in a minute. Here he goes. He says, Will, put your favorite tequila bottle on your jersey. There you go. If you want a tequila bottle on your jersey, you want to be Team Fortaleza, they'll do it. Which I think is totally cool. The name of this shop is called Cutting Edge. There you go. So, but if you see his name, Mark Trinidad, just send him a note on the YouTube. You can send him a note and ask him, or if he wants to put his website address on here. They're on Facebook too, so you can look for him on Facebook. You want to put an email address up here where they can email you if they want to check out something? Oh, they're located in the Inland Empire. Okay, so you're here in. I thought you were in Texas. Are you here in like Riverside, California, Inland Empire, California? But they ship all over, so you can get Oh, he's down the street from me. Oh, wow. Okay. Ontario. Oh, okay. Why did I think you were in Texas? So he's here in Ontario. He's here in California. So they'll ship anywhere that you guys want something. Just let them know. All right. There you go. You guys can get your cool jerseys on. So, Ellie, you want to get back to tequila? Anybody? Oh, his wife is from San Antonio. Okay. I know he's a big Cowboys fan, so so am I. All right, so that is you guys have any more questions or anything? Today's going to be kind of a slow day for you guys. Normally you guys are bombarding me with all kinds of questions. Otherwise I can't think of anything really to talk about. Should we end it early? All right. Well, I guess we'll just call it a night. What do you guys think? Don't forget Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check out the Race All Happy Hour with the Hombre. It's going to be great. I have a lot of great information for you guys. We'll go through some tasting, go through the different things that they do with the different stuff from the different varieties that they do within the line. And we'll go over all kinds of details on it. All right, so we do have a question. Have you recommended higher proof tequilas? Yes, I do. I recommend a lot of higher proof tequilas. There's quite a few that are good. Not Altasor. Fortaleza Still Strength is good. The Pura Sangre Forte Blanco is really good. Dono's Dangerous Añejo good? No, I wouldn't. No, I don't think it. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that. There's a lot of good high proofs out there. Grande Vejo is really good. Pura Sangre's Forte Blanco's good. The Toralta 110 Extra Añejo and Blanco is good. The G408 proof Blanco is really good. So I recommend, if you're a Blanco person and you like the cooked agave flavoring, I recommend that you check out the high proof, because it's just elevates the agave and the taste just so much more than the 40 proofs, because there's less water to dilute it down than with the 40 proofs. The 40 proofs, they basically comes out of the still at 110 or around that area, and then they dilute it down to 40. Where El Tesoro is different, where they actually distill it at 40 proof. It's not diluted. What's my opinion on Asombroso tequilas? I think they're sweet. They're too sweet for me. I did have one when it was the 5-year, when it was made out of 1146, and it was good, but it was really caramelly, but I know there's no additives in there because they don't use additives in that house. But they changed distilleries now, and I just think it's super sweet. So I wouldn't doubt it if they used additives and stuff in it. So I don't like it because it's like sweet and syrupy. All right, I'm flying down south to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was wondering if you knew any good stores or bars from around there. No, I've never been to Santa Fe. So is there anybody here from Santa Fe and New Mexico that could provide some suggestions for Luis? I'm sure he would appreciate it. Let's watch and see if anybody. All right. So what is the Bat Friendly Project and what brands are involved? Well, the Bat Friendly Project, it's a good question. It's a project where they're trying to provide more food and stuff for bats. See, bats are really important for pollinating agave, and so what some distilleries are doing is when agaves mature, they go to what's called quiote, and when they go to quiote, a big stalk will come out of the middle of them and grow up in the air, and it flowers and produces seeds for the agave. And so the bats will visit these flowers and drink the nectar and stuff out of them and pollinate, and they go from agave to agave, and they pollinate the agave that way, and it creates more of a genetic biodiversity for the agave. So it's not all the same gene pool as it is when you're pulling huelos off the agave, which are little babies that grow off the side. And you'll see that if you ever see a Weber Blue agave, so it'll grow off a shoot and another plant will come out of the ground. That's a baby. It's called the huelos. And a lot of distilleries will just let those grow and then pull them off and then plant them by themselves and grow another plant. But when you do that, you're working with the same gene pool, and you're not having any diversity in the gene pool, which can lead it to being more susceptible to disease and stuff. So the BAT project, what they do is they work with distilleries to allow them to get 5% of their agave crop to let them go to quiote. Now, when they let them go to quiote, those plants are gone. They can't use them for tequila because all the sugar is spent from them in going to flower to the quiote. But one thing they do get from it is they get seeds, which helps them plant a whole different line of genetic, different plants. So that's one of the benefits they have. But they also keep the bats around and provide food source and stuff for the bats, and will allow them to stay and do more pollination. So it's a good project. Ferment and Still, we're donating money to it as part of the profits to help support biodiversity in the agave world. Have you invited Guillermo Erickson Salza for happy hour? I haven't invited him yet. No, I'm working on it though. We'll get Guillermo. Do you have any recommendations for introducing non-tequila drinkers to high-end brands? Yeah, I mean, just invite them over and pour them some. Give it to them in a glass. Don't let them slam it. Just say, here, taste this. Tell me what you think. That's what I do. So I've turned a lot of my neighbors onto the good stuff where they won't drink the bad stuff anymore. I just invite them over and say, here, let's have some. Here, this is a Blanco, and this is what it tastes like. This is what good tequila tastes like. And they take a sip, and they go, wow, that's better than the stuff I've had before. And it's like, yeah, this is the good quality stuff. And next thing you know, they become addicted, and they come over wanting to drink your tequila all the time. So there's some downsides to that. It's like you can get them knocking on your door. They're, hey, can we? You think you should pull some tequila out? Maybe they get to be a pain in the butt, but it's okay. I love my neighbors. Flying to Cancun this upcoming winter. What are the top distilleries that offer the best experience quality of tequila? Well, there's no distilleries in Cancun. They all the distilleries are in Jalisco, or surrounding municipalities like Michoacan, I can't even pronounce that right. Tamaulipas, just small areas out there. You won't find any distilleries in Cancun, any tequila distilleries. But if you're going to Cancun, I don't know if you're going to find too much as far as tequila selections go down there. But I'd look for Fortaleza, look for Cascaween, stuff like that. Stuff you'll see on this channel. But the best place to buy tequila is in Mexico, is in Guadalajara and Jalisco. You can even find some good stuff in Encinitas, Rosarita area, and Tijuana. You can find some good stuff. But you don't want to go to the touristy areas because they just have all the sugary stuff that's super sweet. Altasor Añejo, I love. Thanks to you, I bought Viva Mexico Añejo. Smells a bit sweet, but I think good. Bravo, Altasor. There you go. Now the Viva Mexico's, there's no additives or anything to it. It's solid, really good tequila. Sergio does it right. I'm gonna party with him when I go to Mexico. We're gonna have a blast. I hear that the maturity for agave is getting shorter by 2 earlier years. Is that the new? Well, no. It all depends. I mean, it depends on how long they're letting them sit for. It's not that they're getting to maturity 2 years early. It's just they're somewhat mature, so they're using them. It all depends on the bricks content and stuff and how they grow them. But still, the optimum is like 8 years. And even if you look at David Ravandi, he goes 10 years on his agave before you harvest them for the 1, 2, 3 organic line. So, the people are just, 5, 6 years is making good tequila. That's what 1414 uses. But, some people like to let them go longer. I think they said the optimum, the longest, I think is normally 13 or 14 years that they go, but they just don't want to wait that long. So, yeah, normal. Yeah. Thoughts on Marca Negra brand? The Mezcal? Marca Negra Mezcal? I've heard good things about it. I haven't had it yet, so I don't know. Have a good evening, Mark. Talk soon, my brother. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. I can't wait to show people the jersey you're making me. I'm super excited about that. And now that you're close, I thought you were going to have to mail it. I could just meet up and just get it from you. That's cool. I didn't know you were here in Ontario. So what's your thoughts on Don Abraham? I think Don Abraham is really good, Lucas. I like it. I like the Blanco. I like the I have the Repo and Añejo for review. I like the extra Añejo. It's good. It's good. I think it's good. They make good stuff there. And it's organic. It comes out of the same distillery as 123 organic. So they make good stuff. What good distilleries can I find in Michoacan? There's maybe one distillery, and I wouldn't say it's good. So all the good distilleries are in Jalisco. I mean, honestly. So I would, if you want to go look for places in Michoacan, check out some of the mezcaleros out there. They have like La Luna. They're in Michoacan, and they make some really good mezcals. They even make a tequiliana, which is Weber Blue mezcal, which is good. But I would check them out and visit the Palenques, the mezcalero Palenques versus tequila distilleries. There's not very many good. There's not. I think there's like one, and it's not good. Jalisco's where the good tequila distilleries are. Is there a list where you can find out what distilleries the ex-bourbon casks are coming from? I noticed a different Corazon with Weller barrels and Blanton barrels. Well, Corazon is owned by Sazerac, which owns Buffalo Trace Distillery. So anything that comes out of Buffalo Trace Distillery, they're going to get the barrels for there for the Corazon. It's at Casa San Matias. So they have Blanton's, they have Eagle Rare, they have Weller, they have what are some of the other ones? Sazerac Rye. They have a bunch of them, and so anything that comes out of Buffalo Trace Distillery, except for Pappy, they won't do Pappy. Pappy, they're not allowed to do. They did Pappy the first batch, but then they got their hand slapped and said you can't do that anymore. Hello, JD. How's it going, buddy? How's everything in Cincinnati? Blanco or Extra Neo? After drinking both for a while, Blanco is so much more complex. Yes, because the Extra Neo is going to get a lot of the Blanco nuances covered up by the barrel. So, but you get the barrel spice, the barrel nuances in it as well on the Extra Neo, but it has a tendency of covering up the agave, the Blanco nuances. So yeah, I agree. Repo is kind of the best of both worlds because you're getting a little bit of the barrel stuff, and the agave is still there pretty much. The Añejo, if they do it right, will still have some good agave in it too. But a lot of times they over oak them, and so you just get mostly oak on stuff. Now, if you guys want to see, I know you asked about the Buffalo Trace thing. Let me show you. Hold on just a second. All right. So I went and visited the mystery closet. Now, Corazon, you asked about the Corazon. I'll just show you. This is their single barrel expressions. These are good. Now, if you can find these, if stores are doing buys of these, we did 2 barrels of these for the collective. And so you can see here, this one's got Eagle Rare, right? So this is a Reposado that was rested in Eagle Rare barrels. And you can see it was a collective buy because there's the collective logo there on the medallion. And then this is an Añejo that we did. It's also single barrel. You see the single barrel. It says single barrel on the bottom here. See that? Single barrel. You see that? See? And then this was done in a Blanton's barrel. And then you can see it was a barrel buy for the collective. There's our logo. First barrels that we did these two, and we did the San Matias Gran Reserva. These are good from Corazon. These are the ones I like. I don't like the regular ones so much. I like the single barrels better. Lots of good flavor from the barrels in there. It is going to be a little heavier on the bourbon side, but it's tasty. It's good. I enjoyed it. And it's $45 for the Añejo, $40 for the Repo. So you can pick them up for a pretty good price if a store near you has done a barrel select of these. But they're good. I enjoy them. So, and they have the Weller. They have all different kinds. Those are the ones I recommend picking up when it comes to the Corazon line. You're welcome. You're welcome, William. Glad to help. All right, what's this? He says, love Sangre Alteña. Got my order. Do they currently still produce it? Yeah, they still produce it. And we've got, I reserved a bunch of it. So, I still have it. So if you want more when you're finished, you order more. We still have a bunch that we reserved. So, but the new stuff looks like it may be becoming more expensive, a lot more expensive, like $45 for the Blanco, $55 for the Repo, $75 for the Añejo type of pricing. And then they have a Cristalino, which is like $99. So, but I reserved a bunch of it and said, this is mine. This is for ferment and still. You guys aren't to do anything else with it. And so we got some, so make sure you stock up on it before it goes bye-bye. That's why I bought 2 cases of it to keep here to drink. So, because also Julio from Tommy's in San Francisco said he was going to buy the rest of the stock that they had, but I'm not going to let him do that. He's a friend of mine, but I'm still not going to let him do it. So those are good. High Times High Times does a lot of barrel buys. Yeah, they do a lot of barrels. So I wouldn't be surprised they have them. Are you doing single barrels for Corazon again? I don't know. If you guys want to, we can do them again. But I need to get enough people that are interested in it to do it again. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Were you in? I think you were in on the first ones, weren't you, Luis? I think you were, right? You like them. They're good, right? I'm doing great. A friend is letting me ship to their Kentucky. Oh, nice. So you're going to be putting in a buy with ferment and still? Nice. So happy. So happy for you that you could take advantage of this. That's awesome. Yeah, and we do ship to Kentucky, so that's not a problem. And we have great stuff. Why did they stop using Pappy's barrels? Because Pappy said no. The first batch they did Pappy, and Pappy's like, what? You did what? Or it's, what? You did what?
You're not supposed to use our barrels. You know that, right? You're not supposed to use our barrels.
And so they had to stop. And then the tequila police came in. Stop using their barrels. That's an order. And they had to stop it. JD, I am so happy for you, bud. That's awesome. That is awesome. I think it's awesome. Yeah, they were good, right? Yeah, I enjoy them. I still have just a couple. I saved a couple because they are really good. The Corazones are really good. I really enjoy them. So maybe, I mean, if we can have people that want to do it, I wouldn't be opposed to doing another buy. I'm going to be spending, when I go in August, I'm going to be spending some time with Casa San Matias, because they're like my second family in Mexico. So I'll be there. So I mean, people, if I get enough people, if you want to post in the group, hey, what does people think about doing another Corazon buy? If you're interested in that, and we get enough people that want to do it, I'm all for it. So let me know. I think it'd be fun to do some more. Just we'll need to make sure it's better organized this time. All right. Does fermenters shipped via FedEx? If so, can you ship them to a Walgreens? No, we don't ship FedEx. We can't ship to a Walgreens. No, but even if we could, we couldn't ship into Ohio where he lives. So, and he wanted to know before if we could ship to a UPS store, which we can't. So, no, sorry, we don't ship FedEx. Can't ship to a Walgreens. So, can't help with that. All right, you guys, it is 5:02. I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle and grab some dinner and stuff. Thanks for joining me today and all your great questions and comments. We're going to have a great time on Wednesday, so make sure you join me for the happy hour with the Hombre, where we do the Ray Saul special edition thing on Ray Saul. It's going to be great. Convince Carmen to give me a pat. I don't think it's not Carmen's decision. It's Sazarek's on whether they'll let me do it. You're welcome, David. Thanks for joining me. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys coming. Seriously, Wednesday's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have some good stuff. We'll show you some really cool things, and it'll be great. So make sure Wednesday, mark out Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the happy hour with the Hombre, where we're doing everything Ray Saul. Okay, and until next time, like I always say, guys, life is too short to drink bad tequila. Salud. Bye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your comments. Thanks, Luis. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. You rock.